Hello, everyone. Sid Notter here, and welcome to the Vegan Health Bundle 2024 project, which is running from March 1st through March 10th of 2024. And it contains a lot of products from many, many contributors. And that's what I'm here today to do is share one of the contributors in that bundle. Her name is Vicki Brett-Gach, and she's got a wonderful dessert cookbook in the bundle titled Feel Great Desserts. And she's going to demonstrate how to make one of her famous homemade chocolate sauces today. But before we get into that, I want to share another project that Vicki and I collaborated together on with another chef. Her name is Chef Valerie Wilson. And last May, the three of us got together and we did a Scrumptious Burgers and More cooking class. And from there, we contributed that to the bundle as well. And it has over 20 recipes and a cookbook, an e-cookbook. I think Vicki has the a sample of it there. So let me introduce Vicki to you first of all, and then we'll share a little more about our cookbook, our bundle, our burger class rather in the bundle, and then Vicki will tell you more about her standalone dessert class that she's offering. So Vicki is a master certified vegan lifestyle coach. She's a plant-based culinary instructor, a certified personal chef, the creator of the Ann Arbor Vegan Kitchen Recipe blog, and the author of the Plant-Based for Life cookbook, deliciously simple recipes to nourish, comfort, energize, and renew. And I have got that cookbook, and I'll tell you, that is one you do not want to miss. So welcome, Vicki. It's so nice to see you.
Thank you so much, Sid. It's so nice to be with you as well. This is going to be fun. I'm really looking forward to chatting with you today.
Yeah, so last May we did a Scrumptious Burgers and More cooking class, right? It was nearly 2 hours of cooking instruction between you and I and Chef Val. What did you make in the cooking class?
That's right. We all contributed recipes that were all kinds of fun ways to create veggie burgers and a whole bunch of side dishes. And so what I put into the class and into the book that we created afterwards with extra recipes beyond what we even shared in the class. I've got a Fiesta Fajita burger, which is, let's see if I can find that photograph for you. And it's right here. So we've got the Fiesta burger that I created, Fiesta Fajita burger, and I also have an oven baked falafel burger, a fabulous beet burger, and then some side dishes. One of them is a chimichurri corn on the cob, a summer redskin potato salad, and then a mixed green salad that has a creamy Michigan cherry balsamic dressing. So I have those 6 recipes. And then Sid, I think you've got 6 that are really exciting as well. And then Val has another 5 or 6 on top of that. So we've got all kinds of interesting ways to create and share with loved ones, all kinds of healthy burgers that are not just your usual flavors and something for everybody, gluten-free and not gluten-free. And but everything is entirely plant-based and oil-free.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about the class. There's something for everybody's taste, right? From English pasty burgers to I made an Italian pizza burger, your Fiesta burger. I mean, there's just a lot of different offerings in there that somebody in your family is definitely going to love. So we've said that this collection would make a great addition to any kitchen, basically.
Yeah, that's right. And I think besides the fact that we have all kinds of interesting, diverse flavors in our class, we also have a video of the course that we offered, which was at the time, of course, like a live class that was interactive. And it allows for people to see how we actually assembled things and how easy everything was, because we really tried to create easy, delicious burgers that people could replicate at home and, be able to stick extras in the freezer and just be able to have everyday meals based on all kinds of, unusual, I should say not necessarily unusual, but maybe uncommonly delicious flavors that you can kind of mix and match so that you've always got something to grab from the freezer. And that's another way I like to use burgers. They're great fresh out of the oven, but then to be able to have something extra for later in the week or to be able to stash a few in the freezer for another day when you're busy and don't have time to cook, that's almost one of the most magical parts of having burgers on hand. So I love to do that. And then we all offered all kinds of different side dishes, because when you're serving burgers, so often you want to have something with it. And so it's kind of the way that even people who are not plant-based can kind of enter the world of plant-based by pulling together some familiar flavors. People understand, burgers in a salad, or burgers in a side dish of, potato wedges, or, all the different kinds of things we wanted to try to mix and match so that people could create a really easy, fun meal with their families, with the combination of recipes we created together.
Yeah, that was so much fun. So that is in the bundle as well. Our cooking video and the cookbook is in the bundle too. So Vicki, tell us
Yes.
about your dessert book.
Yes. So in addition to, so we created, so many people created more than one thing that they are putting into the bundle, which makes it even more exciting to explore all the things that are there. But I have been working for the last several months on a book that I call Feel Great Desserts. And it's got over 80 pages of recipes. I printed a copy because I'm using it as a working copy in my own kitchen. But it's an ebook, and I'm trying to see what the best way to sort of show. But there's all kinds of recipes for ice creams and cookies and brownies and donuts and cupcakes and all kinds of different cookies and cakes and popsicles and oatmeal cookies and peach crisp and lots of fun things in every recipe. There's over 30, I think there's 34 recipes. Every recipe has a full color page photograph next to it. And my signature, if I have one for these recipes, is that they're easy. So they don't take any exotic ingredients, and there's, usually only a handful of ingredients in most of these. They can be put together quickly into a single blender or bowl and prepared in a flash. So I'm very excited about this, because these are some of my favorite desserts that I prepare over and over in my own kitchen. And every recipe in here is separate. If you happen to have my cookbook, none of the recipes in this are a duplicate. So these are all unique recipes that are not already in my cookbook. So this is just desserts only, and I'm excited to share.
Right. So did you photograph these dishes yourself, Vicki? Or
I did. I actually did. Yes. And this is what I'm going to be making for you. I'm going to do a quick demo of one of my easy dessert recipes. This is kind of an addition to most recipes, because it's a homemade chocolate sauce. And it's oil-free, sugar-free. I mean, chocolate sauce, you can buy a chocolate sauce, but you can make one in your own kitchen that's sugar-free, if that's important to you, and oil-free, if that's important to you, which it is for me. And you can do it with just a couple of ingredients that you can put together so fast and keep on hand in a jar in the refrigerator, which is what I do. And then I have it for, dipping strawberries into, or putting over homemade ice cream, or today I'm going to put it over a homemade brownie. And the recipe for the brownie is also in my dessert cookbook. It's a sweet potato brownie, which I just made last night. And so that's this little dish right here. We'll just put together our quick sauce, and then I'll show you what it's like to just, use as a topping over any kind of dessert that you like, because chocolate sauce, I mean, who doesn't like chocolate sauce? So, and this is just a really healthy, nice version of one that you can keep on hand anytime. And honestly, this kind of makes a nice gift too, if you wanted to create something during the holidays even, or bring as a hostess gift to someone. Not only is it nice in your own refrigerator, but it's nice to gift to somebody else who is a chocolate fan. So yeah, I was going to put together this very quick sauce. I'll show you how easy this is to do. And the other nice thing about this recipe is that I've discovered, as I've played with this so many times, that you can make this same chocolate sauce into a chocolate frosting simply by adding slightly less water. So it'll be thick enough to actually frost cupcakes with. or, cookies or brownies or whatever you might like to do. But I'm making it as a sauce today and just drizzling it over this brownie or over ice cream and so on, but you can make it thicker. And so I do have instructions in the recipe in my Feel Great Desserts ebook about how to turn it into a quick frosting as well. So should I go ahead and get started?
Sure.
Okay,
Can't wait.
here we go.
I
wish I
love
could
chocolate.
share this with you. Me too. So I'm taking a 1/4 cup of date syrup. That's where we're starting. And we'll just make sure we get all of that delicious natural sweetener. So this is how we're going to avoid using any processed sugar, by using just the date syrup, which is just the fruit itself. And then we're going to put in some water. And then some raw cashews. We want to make sure that they're raw cashews. I'm using a Vitamix for this recipe. But if you don't have a high-powered blender, if you're using a standard blender, I would recommend that you might want to soak these for some period of time before you put them into the blender, because the high-powered blender will turn it into a very, very creamy consistency. And if you don't have that much speed behind you, you may end up with more of a sandy texture from the way that your blender grinds up your cashews. So soaking them will turn them into that same creaminess that we're looking for. Now, if you don't do that step, it'll be, as I say, a little bit more gritty, still tastes delicious, but the texture won't be as smooth. And so if you're looking for that silky texture, which I like, then that is just the way that you'll want to get it. And then from there, I'm putting in some cacao, and you can use cocoa powder or cacao. That's both instructions are in here. A little splash. Oops, I just dropped my lid. We'll pretend that didn't happen. And then just a dash of pure vanilla. And we'll wash that off. And then this is optional, but I'm putting in a sprinkle, just a pinch really, of salt, kosher salt. You can leave that out if you're avoiding salt. It's just kind of a counterbalance to the sweet, but optional. And that's everything. So we've got our date syrup, water, cashews, cocoa, vanilla, and salt. And now we're just going to blend it. So we're going to make a little bit of noise here for a moment as we try to get our texture nice and smooth. So here we go. And there we are. We've got our chocolate sauce. And this is going to make just about a cup of sauce. And I'm going to just pour this into a jar. And now we've got a delicious container. We've got a little extra that beyond what'll fit in here actually. But we've got our delicious chocolate sauce. It's ready to go. And it really is, it just smells so great. I love this. This has become kind of a standard. I use this on all of our birthday cupcakes and over homemade vanilla ice cream. And it's just so delicious. So just by drizzling a little bit on here over this sweet potato brownie, we've got an extra special dessert.
Oh man, that looks
ready
good.
to enjoy.
That looks great. So the brownie recipe is in the book too, correct?
It is. It's yes. I'll show you that one too. It's a chocolate sweet potato brownie, and it makes a big pan full of it. Well, I shouldn't say big pan. It's like a 5x7 pan, and this photo of it does have the chocolate sauce over it. You don't need the chocolate sauce. It's a delicious brownie by itself, but it was a way to kind of piggyback the two together. And the sauce is just so good. You could drink it. It's so good. And I will also say that this sauce works really well to make a hot chocolate with. If you just warm up some milk and just put a couple of tablespoons of this sauce into warm milk, a non-dairy
Nice.
milk. Of course, I like it with an almond milk or a soy milk that's steamed. You could add a little bit to your coffee if you're looking for a special dessert coffee. So it's a fun sauce and, a nice template to create lots of delicious, really nice over fruit, sliced bananas.
Mm.
You just can't go wrong. Makes lots of things even better. Lots of good things even better, I should say.
So for those that are allergic to nuts, is there a substitution or not really?
So that's a great question. Certainly, if you can't have nuts, but you could use a sun butter, if that would work for you, you might try that. If you're avoiding the fat that's in nuts, you could try something else like a white bean, or perhaps even something like a steamed potato or a sweet potato. I haven't tried it without using nuts. So that would be a great question to test out, but I haven't actually tried that myself. But I would imagine that either of those sort of fairly neutral flavors might work for
Hmm.
someone who is avoiding nuts.
Okay. Can
And the
you
other
tell
thing you
us?
could do,
Oh, go ahead.
yes, I was going to say that the other thing you can do if you are not using nuts is make it without the nuts. I mean, the other flavors it won't be as thick, but you might even be able to try it with perhaps a yogurt, like a non-dairy almond yogurt or something like that, or a vanilla yogurt. I haven't, as I say, tried it, but I think there's room for exploring. You could play with an avocado in there instead and stuff like that. So the amount of liquid you add is going to affect the consistency as well as the amount of the higher fat addition, plant-based addition that is turning it into a little bit thicker consistency, but that could probably be swapped out. And I always invite people after they have my recipes to email me if they have questions, and I'm happy to kind of work through with them substitutions that might be customized for their own diet. So people are
Mhm.
always welcome to do that as well.
So where do you get date syrup in your area, Vicki? I know we have it at some of our local Walmarts. You can find Date Lady date syrup on the shelf. Do you have that near you as well in Michigan?
So I actually do order it from the Date Lady online, but I have found it at our local Trader Joe's from time to time. And we do have a Walmart the next city over that I might be able to get it from. I haven't tried to do that yet, but that's usually what I do is I kind of buy that and keep it ahead. Certain products that I use quite a bit of as I'm making desserts, the cashews, walnuts, cocoa, dates, date syrup, these kinds of things that are kind of staples, cocoa. I tend to just buy in quantity so that I've got them handy. But yeah, I kind of got in the habit during COVID of buying lots of things like that online that I could, or, a larger quantity at Costco, that kind of thing, that I could keep on hand for making desserts. So I just tend to keep a pretty full pantry, and I just order a bigger quantity of that and have that on hand as needed.
Hmm. Can you tell us some other desserts that are in your book, the titles?
Sure, 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 sure. These are, I have to say, I just am really excited about this. I do have a sweet tooth, and so this was very fun for me to put together. So I'll just show you a few of these um, as we look through it together. I'm trying to get the glare, make sure there's no glare, but this is an easy baked berries and pears.
Mm.
And we've got raspberry jam chocolate cookies, chocolate chip cookies. So
Mm.
there's some no sugar added raspberry jam and chocolate chips that have no sugar added. And the combination of an unsweetened chocolate chip with a little bit of fruit sweetened jam is a lovely topping to these cookies. And then I've got my very vanilla ice cream. It almost looks like chocolate because it's sweetened with dates and there's so much vanilla in it. And then I've got my cupcakes that have a purple sweet potato icing. Let's see if we can get the light a little better on that.
Those
That's
would
my
be great
cover.
for a party, wouldn't they? A birthday party or any celebration with the purple
Yeah.
frosting?
Yeah. And so they're really fun and quite delicious. These are my cocoa. This is a cocoa banana cake.
Ooh.
and very easy and a nice way to use up leftover bananas. It uses 4 bananas, and there's no nuts in a lot of these recipes, including this one. And nice way to use up bananas, which I always tend to have on hand. This is a peanut butter and jelly oatmeal cookie. And we've got, let's see here. This is a summer crisp, a strawberry peach crisp.
Ooh. Wow.
And
I don't know who would not want this book. Who would not want that dessert book? Healthy desserts.
healthy desserts that make you feel good inside and out, I think. These are pumpkin spice chocolate truffles, and they're really nice around the holidays when people are in that pumpkin spice mode and mood. And that's a fun one. And then my banana split mini bundt cakes. So these are little banana cakes. You could really make them in any shape, but I've got this little mold that makes mini bundt cakes, and it's got this chocolate sauce over it with fresh strawberries and bananas. So kind of turns it into a banana split flavor. So those are some of my favorites.
And you
But
said
there's
that
lots
all
more.
of these desserts are easy, right? They're on the easier side. It's not like
They
you have
really
to
are.
go find some gourmet ingredients at the store. Okay.
No, they're just like bananas, dates, maybe almond butter, vanilla, nothing fancy. They're really all quite simple, down to earth ingredients. And yeah, so these are all the kinds of desserts that I've got on rotation in my own kitchen.
Wonderful. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I am in
Yeah.
on that.
Thank
The
you.
vanilla ice cream, do you happen to use a real vanilla bean in that? Or do you
So you definitely can. I use
okay.
vanilla powder or a
Mhm.
vanilla extract. This one is from Trader Joe's. I just make sure that my vanilla doesn't have any sugar in it if I use the extract. I know some
Mhm.
people avoid the extract because it has alcohol in it. So you can find, alternatives that don't have alcohol. Sometimes they've got sugar instead. And so that's where vanilla powder comes in handy. And
Mm.
I like that more than the bean. I just think it's a little more user friendly, a little less
Mhm.
laborious. But I've used the bean before, and it's hard to beat. And you can get vanilla paste as well, also delicious. But I find that the powder or the extract are just really simple to grab for me. So I use those in my kitchen, but you can use anything you prefer.
Good. Do you make
Yeah.
that ice cream in the blender or the food processor, or how do you make your ice cream?
Well, I actually have an older version of a Breville ice cream
Mhm.
machine. And so I use one, it's got its own chilling mechanism, but I've also used the Ninja Creamy, and I've also made nice creams in my blender or in the food processor. I've done all of those. And I've had a couple of different versions of ice cream makers along the way. And I've just found that the Ninja Creamy is really an affordable version for a lot of folks. And I've got this bigger one that I have used for many years, even before the Ninja Creamy came out, that allows me to make a little bit bigger batch at once. And that tends to be my go-to.
Mm,
Yeah.
awesome. So in this bundle, as of the time of this recording, I think there is about $7,000 worth of products in the bundle, if I'm not mistaken. It's either close
I
to
think it's
7,000
even
or it's over.
I think it's close to 8 is the last I heard,
Ooh.
because I think they were adding to it as,
Okay.
even after they started to create some marketing materials about it. So I think it's close to $8,000 worth of materials that are
Mhm.
all kinds of resources, from
Yeah.
eBooks like we're talking about, and our own class that we created together, to all kinds of, I think Dr. McDougall is premiering his new gut health mini course in here in the
Mhm.
bundle. And Dr. Fuhrman has material for people on infection protection. And several other important physicians have contributed materials. Dr. Nikki Davis, Dr. Ted Barnett, um, so many. I can't even remember all of them. And then there's just so many chefs who've created eBooks and prepared materials for people from around the world, like global contributions. So lots of raw as well as cooked food recipes, courses, stuff related to fitness and yoga. And what else have you had a chance to take a look at?
Yeah, I've been looking at several things. There are a lot of interesting looking cookbooks for sure, and courses too. It escapes me now. I've got a big list of things that I definitely want to investigate right away when the bundle releases. But you get all of that for $49, right? So just the price of two or three of those things would be easily past $49, and you're getting every single item in the bundle. I think well
Absolutely.
over 100 items.
I
I'm
think
sorry that I
well
don't
over
have,
100.
yeah,
I think there's like 140, maybe 100, even maybe more than 140. I mean, I think it's the biggest one they've ever been able
yeah.
to create with over 100 people. I think maybe 100, close to 120 people or something like that, or maybe more.
Wow.
And over 140 different courses and videos and presentations and lectures. And there's like coupons for products, and there's really just more than, and many of the contributions are overvalued of $49 in just themselves. So even if a person only used a couple of things, but I'm quite sure they'll use much more, it pays for itself many times over. And the thing about it is it's access to health enhancing material that's just going to help people kind of reclaim wellness and feel their best this year and beyond. And I always think that this would be such a great gift for people that you care about as well, because it's a really affordable way to, give the gift of health to loved ones, and share this material with them as well.
Yeah, and I think learning is the key to sticking with this way of eating and this lifestyle. Education and learning, continuous learning is a key motivator for many people.
I agree. And not just learning, but staying refreshed on it, because I think it gives constantly new inspiration for staying with this, right? Because for some people, the challenge isn't the information as much as just keeping it kind of interesting and having a chance to try some new recipes, or having a recipe inspire something they might create on their own in their own kitchen, or a reminder about how to make things easier, or a reminder about an ingredient that's really healthy for us that maybe they forgot about. And these kinds of things, I think it's almost like affirmations. Like if we can kind of surround ourselves with the material that keeps it front of mind and keeps it on our radar about how to make this doable and manageable and sustainable. And then you are surrounding yourself with all of this material that will keep you motivated for months and months and months, because there's so much to explore. It's a great way to keep, yourself in your own, in the loop, and kind of set intentions and keep them front of mind, I think.
Yeah, like almost to reignite some excitement about what you're doing. If you're in a rut, if you're in a cooking rut, which sometimes I get in a cooking rut and I need something new, I tend to make the same things over and over. And then when I'm looking for new recipes, boy, the bundle has got everything you'll need. And this bundle is unique, right? This bundle will never be like this again. There'll be perhaps future bundles that are going to be totally different. But this
Right.
bundle is very unique. And like you said, it's the biggest bundle that's been offered. So it's really
Yeah.
worth the money.
It's an entirely, as you said, Sid, it's an entirely unique collaboration. So everything that's contributed to this bundle has never been in the vegan health bundle before. So
Right.
for someone who knows about this from prior years, every year it's entirely new material. And so you're always getting some completely fresh content. And what is recommended is to just download it onto like a thumb drive, so you can have it anytime you want, anywhere you want, forever. And all of these materials can be yours to explore, or you can pick and choose and just download what you want. I mean, it's just, it's really, truly, the bargain of the year. It's because it's the key to, it's like a passport to good health. So
I should put a shout out too for the bone class that I co-created with Eileen Kapsaftis. That class, if you are a woman concerned about bone health, and we all should be, because 1 out of 2 women will break a bone at some time in their life, is the current statistic. This
wow,
class takes a deep dive into not only how our bones build down or break down and rebuild, but things we can do to keep our bones strong. And then Eileen dives deep into the medications, today's common treatments for bone disease or low bone mass or osteoporosis. And what is the true efficacy rate of those drugs? You'd be very surprised to know. And that is also in the course. It's called Age with Strong Bones. And it's like 3 hours of teaching, plus there's cooking videos from me for dairy-free substitutes. And then Eileen has put in some exercise videos for those that currently have osteoporosis or those that want to prevent osteoporosis. So that's just one more thing in the bundle that's well worth $49 right there. It would save you hours of
absolutely.
research. Vitamin D,
Absolutely.
calcium, we talk about all of that.
That's so great. I'm so excited about that. And I am planning to really investigate that myself. I want to know more about that topic. And I'm so happy that that's one of the resources. And you have another contribution in there as well, your book. Tell us about that too.
Yes. So the Plan A Diet, that is a book that released back in 2020 that I wrote and earned a 2020 Book Excellence Award. The ebook will be in the bundle too, and it's kind of a class that combines food with faith, but standalone. It's food. I mean, the scientific part of it is there for people that aren't interested in the faith part. I've had all sorts of people tell me that they enjoyed the book for one or the other reason or both reasons, but it does talk a lot about the science behind why we eat this way. And then for believers who happen to want to incorporate faith as part of their journey, there's resources for that as well.
That's great. I'm excited to look at all of that material. Really wonderful.
Well, gosh, Vicki, thank you so much for coming on today and making that homemade chocolate sauce. That I probably can't have that in the house too often because it calls my name from the kitchen, but yet it's very healthy, right? And we can have it
Yeah, it's
sparingly.
a
Well, for me.
guilt-free. Yeah, it's a guilt-free version because you know everything that's in it, and it's all things you can pronounce, and it's a nice way to have a little treat. And what I do find when you have something in your kitchen, and we're all a little different, we've got different triggers and we've got to be aware of them. But for me, if I have something healthy in the house, it makes me not be looking for something outside of the house. I'm not thinking about, you know, when I'm at Whole Foods looking at what they've got in their baked goods section of their, you know, donuts or something, because I know I can make something myself at home, and I've got some, you know, chocolate sauce at home, and I know how easy things are to put together on my own if you've got a nice healthy recipe. And since I try to avoid sugar, and you know, when we're trying to avoid sugar, it makes it almost impossible to buy any dessert out in the world, you know, that also is compliant and vegan, and with the way that I choose to eat. So having something healthy gives me a little feeling of security that I can, you know something's there, and I feel kind of comforted by that. And the other thing I find is when things are made with real ingredients, sometimes a little bit will be very satisfying, and you don't tend to, you know, for those of us that might have a tendency to overdo or, you know, binge, I find that if it's made with real ingredients, it's satisfying enough that the temptation for that is a little bit reduced compared to if it was full of chemicals and things our body doesn't recognize. So,
right.
But yeah.
Yeah, a little goes a long way, and it does satisfy you. I love that part of it too.
Yeah, it's what I find too.
Yeah. So again, the bundle is only available from March 1st to March 10th, 2024, and you can get the bundle by clicking the link below this video. If you have any questions, you could reach out to me or Vicki. Our contact information will be below this as well. And we just encourage you to consider getting the bundle for yourself. And as Vicki mentioned, maybe even as a gift for someone that could really use, help with getting their lifestyle back on track or in the right direction.
Yes, I find that it really it would be an ideal gift for someone, and what a great way to tell somebody that you care about them. And I every single year that I've been participating in a bundle, after it's over, someone contacts me and says, "Can I still get the bundle? I didn't realize that it was ending, or I just found out about it." And unfortunately, there's no extension. It really does end on March 10th. So you got to get it while it's available, because it really is like, the clock is running. It's not available after midnight, 11:59 Pacific time on the 10th of March.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, Vicki. It's been wonderful to see you, and I wish you all the very best. I know your cookbook's going to go over really well. Who doesn't
Thank you
want
so
that
much, Sid.
cookbook?
Thank you so much. It's so nice to talk with you and to have a chance to catch up a little bit and talk about your projects. I'm really looking forward to diving into all of those as well. And thank you for giving me a chance to share a little bit about my cookbook as well.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Take care.
Take care.